Sacred souls, it's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is removing and dissolving blocks and fear and anxiety dealing with financial stuff. And that involves any projections that we may have had from family members, caregivers, maybe even close friends, anything that we have absorbed and taken on as ours, as well as family patterns. And I just noticed, I was going to show you. So all of that, especially now that it's tax time, there's a lot of fear and anxiety around getting the income tax done and dealing with all this financial stuff, especially for those of us who are, how should I put this, not very inclined in dealing with anything financial. So yeah, we're gonna do that, but sorry, I just got sidetracked for a second because I saw that this had moved and I wanted to show you how the candle from from 2 days ago, from the last ceremony had burnt down. And well, this is how it was. Okay, it just moved over a little. So as it was burning down, it looked like it was opening to both sides, right? So like opening like a flower, like a blossom. And what else I see here is this is like a giant from one of those fantasy movies. I think it might have been Lord of the Rings, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh wow, some weird stuff going on with the light. Wow, look at that. It just keeps flickering, coming on and off, and I think that's the camera because the other light that I have on, let me just turn this off. Oh, it's still doing that. No? Whoa. And I don't see any light flickering because there's a light ring around the camera that's on top of the tripod. Wow, that is bizarre. Okay, so definitely, even though we have light in us and we're on the path of light, it's like the dark keeps coming in. Wow. Okay, anyhow, my apologies, but I feel like I need to continue filming. Hopefully it's gonna stop or not distract you too much, but a lot of these things are signs. So I feel like this is one of those giants. As I said, it was in one of those fantasy movies, I think Lord of the Rings, but I'm not 100% sure. So that carrying the earth or carrying the world, like, but sort of almost like a burden, but not because it's on the front, but sort of. And here there are actually two, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can lift it up. There are actually two of the legs. So this one float on top of the other one and it lifted up. So we are moving forward. We're lifting off in a sense, right? So take off, lift off. Things are getting off the ground. Even if it takes a while, but it is coming. It's definitely well on its way. And here I feel like out of the world that this giant is carrying, it birthed a child. This is like a baby or a small child. And that is what we're birthing, right? So the only thing is, down at the bottom, there's a dark thing that makes me think of a tick. So, and a lot of times with bites and stuff like that and insects, that is still the dark kind of injecting some poison, right? So like toxic stuff. So all in all, we're on the right path. Things are happening, but there's still some dark stuff that is interfering a little bit. And definitely with the light here. Wow, see how that keeps going, like on and off, on and off. Wow. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to show you this because that is pretty cool. And there's a lot to read there. And I haven't even looked too much at the other stuff here. There might be more that I didn't really look at yet because I only looked from one angle. But I felt like this was the important stuff. Okay, so now for today, what I have is especially all the ancestral patterns and our toxic relationship with money and financial matters and finances. Usually comes from, like, it usually gets passed down from generation to generation. So what I have here, I have a black banishing candle inside a bone representing the ancestors and ancestral lineage, right? Like it's in the bones and it's in the DNA. Now, this I actually found in the park today. And what was very interesting too is that, I mean, aside from being totally gnawed up by dogs, I guess, it's extremely porous. I hope you can see that. I actually put some clay inside because in the past when I burnt candles in bone, actually the last 2 times I think, or maybe it was just the last time, but anyhow, like it started burning the bone when the candle had burnt down or almost burnt down. And it stank so horribly. I don't ever want to have that happen again. So I put some clay on the inside. So I lined it here, which unfortunately covered up a lot of the porous stuff. But the fact that this bone is so incredibly porous all on the inside, it's completely porous, made me also think of a sponge, and especially how those of us who are empaths, we're like sponges that soak up the energy, but also in this case, like with the financial matters, also the patterns and the thought forms of our parents, grandparents, or some of them, those we were close to or that we spent a lot of time with, any caregivers. So that has really strongly affected us. And I want to connect that to the white candle or off-white representing us. Tie the cord. I just wanted to show you first, and it's easier to move around if I don't have it all set up yet. So I'm going to tie this, and then in the ceremony, I will cut the cords so that we're disconnected from those energies, right? And yeah, I think that should be it. Let me just get this. Okay, so what I usually do, let me move this aside. So I usually do the zigzag or like the crossing and then do it straight. And then it depends on how long it is. If I go around again, I think it's long enough. Yeah, it's long enough. So, and then I just tie it in the center. And this can go around twice. There you go. Oh, actually, I think I have enough to tie it at the bottom. I like it better if it doesn't stick up right in the middle. It's better if it sticks down. I think I just invented that, but okay, or over, whatever. Okay, so let's smudge and call in our spirit guides, and then I will light these. Okay. One. Oops, my finger was a little close there. 2, 3, that should be good. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies. Take away and transmute anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed. and transmute it into pure divine essence and return it back to the universe for reintegration. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And help us fully and completely reconnect to our own inner divinity and that all around us. And through that, help us heal physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, and karmically, and be in oneness again with all of creation. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right. Okay, so let's call in our divine team. Dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, dear Mother Earth, powers of all four directions, powers of the east, powers of the south, powers of the west, powers of the north, powers of all four elements, air, earth, fire, and water, and all other benevolent powers, forces, spirits, and beings of the universe that are of the light. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. And banishings as needed. And please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. Okay, let's move that a tiny bit closer. I want this one closer to the edge. Okay. Thank you to our divine team for all the blessings that you help us receive in this lifetime that are starting to stream in more and more through the healings that we do by healing a lot of blocks. So thank you for helping us remove all these blocks, heal from anything that is blocking or limiting us. Thank you so much. Please help us throw off all these burdens that we had taken on and carried around with us. Let us lift off and throw off all that weight, just like a hot air balloon, where you have to throw off all that weight so that the balloon can rise, so that we can rise. And as one of those burdens, let us disconnect, heal from, and dissolve any and all blocks, barriers, hurdles, blockages, and any and all fear, anxiety, and other negative emotions towards finances and dealing with financial stuff. Let us move into the energies of lightness, where money becomes like a game to us, almost like Monopoly. Where dealing with all this financial stuff just becomes like a game, almost joyful, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just have to do this, or we'll just do this, not have to. We'll just do this, la 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 la, right? So, let me light our light candle representing the light in us. Ooh, and hold on, this was working just fine before. That's another sign. There's still a bunch of things trying to block our light, because see, it's still half full. Not half empty, it's half full. But it's like there are still things getting in the way and trying to stop or block the light from fully flowing through us and around us, in our energy field and around us. And by lighting this black banishing candle. Let all this darkness, all this fear and anxiety, including family patterns, projections, and anything that we inherited through our DNA, anything ancestral from our lineage that was passed down to us by our ancestors going through hard times and struggling. Let all of that be dissolved and let us move into lightness. Let earning money and dealing with money and any financial, let's see again, any financial, it does, here we go. Ooh, did you see? That one just flickered too. Okay, let me get the other one. Okay, here we go. Let all those dark emotions, energies, and patterns be banished from us and our lives, and let ease and comfort and positive energies and emotions towards finances, towards money, towards dealing with financial matters flow into our lives. Let us welcome it with open arms, and through that, let all those money blocks be blasted open and blown away so that abundance can start streaming in. All right. So by cutting these cords to us, to our light, to us, light workers, light beings, people on the spiritual path, carrying the light for others, being way showers, being pillars of light for New Earth, for recalibrating basically Mother Earth and all of us beings on Mother Earth. Let any and all dark connections related to finances and dealing with financial stuff now and forever be cut, severed, finished, and removed throughout time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. Let any and all money blocks and ties and connections, karmic connections, bonds, shackles, chains, leashes, family patterns, and anything inherited through the DNA, anything passed down, any toxic relationships with finances and money and dealing with it, be cut away and fully and completely removed from us and our lineages, so that abundance can stream in and lightheartedness, joy, and pleasure can stream in. And just like a child, we can enjoy the benefits that good finances can bring into our lives. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. And what just popped into my head right at the end of this is when I was a kid, they had special savings days at the bank in my village where I was growing up. Well, actually, I'm sure it was in all the banks, at least that type of bank. You know how there are different types like TD, Royal, and so on, right? And for us children, when we deposited money in our little savings account, which was really a savings book, because back in the day they had like little books, same as here in Canada, right? There used to be like little books where all of it was recorded. When we deposited money into our savings account that day, we got a gift. So that could have been, I don't know, like a little mini wallet or a pair of scissors, or like, you know, like craft scissors for kids or anything like that. And it was fun. I remember being excited and proud to deposit some money and getting a gift, right? So if we can fully let go of all that heaviness, of those burdens of adult responsibilities, and I mean, I'm not saying don't be responsible with your money, quite the opposite actually, but letting go of the dark, heavy, negative feelings associated with dealing with money and finances. If we can let go of that, we can be just like that child that I just described, or that story, where as a child being proud to deposit some money in the account, that kind of joy of dealing with it and being proud of it can come back. And we let go of any of those heavy burdens that we feel when we live paycheck to paycheck and we're working really hard just to make ends meet and so on. Once we let go of that worry, money is also going to come easier. So actually, I was just guided to also do the rebalancing. So let me just get the pyramid in here for a moment. Fuzzy. Okay. Oh, I gotta share this with you too. So as I was just doing that, another thing just popped into my head. So an extension of what I was saying earlier is so that's us, like the giants, by carrying the burdens, the heaviness of the world, we birthed our new life, right? So we're stepping into our soul mission and we're starting new earth. We're starting to form new communities, or we're starting to do things for new earth. Maybe we're still in the process of learning skills that we will need to establish eco-villages and so on, right? So whatever it is, but many of us are actively going in the direction of establishing the new world, right? So that, as well as us in our new life, in our new role, was being birthed out of carrying the burdens of the world, right? So we carried a lot of heavy stuff around with us, but that was needed to birth the new us. So it wasn't just something that we had to do or something that was imposed on us or forced on us, but it was such a key element. It was such an important part of making us who we are now and who we're becoming, because we're just at the beginning of this new life. So I think that wasn't completely clear earlier. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our divine team again. Wow. And the energies do feel more peaceful again. Whew. Oh, and speaking of new earth stuff, I got the Guerrilla garden started. Like I did the setup. But since there's supposed to be another night of frost next week, I haven't actually put the seeds in yet. But I created a raised garden bed out of bricks that were in that area. And I had put some wooden boards, some wood down that was just junk lying around there. So I layered that as the base. And then I had some sand and some wood chips and then some composted manure and then some topsoil. And I put that all inside the little mini brick wall that I built there. Well, it was like 2 layers of bricks on top of each other, right? All around, sort of in a rectangle. And it's in kind of a hidden spot, but I checked that a lot of like herbs and some vegetables don't need a lot of sunlight. So it will be a bit shady there, but, well, probably quite a bit, but we'll see if... No, it will grow. Something will grow. We'll see what grows. And take it from there. But that's also one of those things that I mentioned earlier, just beginnings of new earth, right? And there was a young couple that also snuck around behind the train tracks, and I told them if they come back in the summer or fall, and if they see anything that grows, they could harvest it if they wanted to. So just starting to spread those different ideas, and they were like, oh wow, that's so cool, and wow, neat, right? So it's like creating these positive ripple effect in the world around us, right? So that's also part of New Earth, right? So it's not like we all have to move to the jungle and, you know, be fully and completely removed, even though this may be a wish, but it may be some years down the road, not right away, right? So it depends on the timing of everyone and in which direction they need to go, but there are so many things that we can all do in our small little way. And even if we don't have a garden, you can do it like me, or in other ways, like maybe someone's really gifted in writing songs with like really uplifting lyrics and healing sounds, right? Kind of like a sound bath, but put into music. And there's already a bunch of really wonderful new age music out there and new earth music. So anyhow, to wrap this up, thank you all so much for being here, for being part of this collective. If any of you would like to extend this ceremony, please pause the video now. And for the rest of us, let's wrap it up and give a massive amount of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings to our divine team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let the ceremony now be finished. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. And put a massive 12D shield of protection all around us and seal our energy field. and make it whole and strong again. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here, for being a part of the ceremony as well as our collective. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. May you always have truth and integrity by your side. Bye. Be well until next time. Bye.